Morning all, I'm Johnny B and welcome to Sunny Coast Celtic episode 89. I don't think this season can get any more surprising than what we're getting. Every single week you're looking at the games and going, right, this should be a win, and this will be tough, this will be whatever. Now we knew yesterday was going to be tough, or today, sorry, was going to be tough. But to lose in the way we did, I don't think it was as bad. I know everybody's going to go, but at home we should be beating Hibs, but I thought Celtic played better than they played against Dundee, better than they played against Livingston, better than we played against Dundee over the last few weeks. And I know everybody's going to say, well, you're better off playing shit and getting the points, but I didn't think we were that bad today. Didn't think, a couple of things we could have been a bit better at, but I just don't think we were that bad. I think we're final ball. The amount of times that we got into that final third of the park and our final ball was just too long, too high, too short. It was, I don't know. We'll go on to the penalty and everything else in a minute, but when Hibs took the lead, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's alright, we've got tons of time to come back here. It was a decent goal. Like, I don't think there's much we can do. The player at the back post, should he have been a bit closer to him? You're always going to look at the defending when somebody scores and go, he should have been closer to him, he should have been this, but he's got to take it on the chin sometimes. It was a great ball in. Cadden's always whipping brilliant balls in his left foot, and it was a really good finish where the boys come in at the back post and finished it. I don't have any gripe about that goal. I know people's going to say we could have defended better, but if we'd have scored that goal, we'd have went, what a ball in, and what a good finish. So you've got to take it on the chin sometimes, and that's what we've done. But before that, I mean, you watch the game throughout, you could give penalties every 10 minutes. Big TC, the guy was holding him. How many times did he hold him? Bashiri, he just kept holding him, grabbing his jersey. VAR never look at them, but if your player goes down, they should be looking at the VAR, should be looking at it. Now, I'm not saying that's what cost us the game and that, but when you're refereeing games, you've got to be consistent. Now, we could have had, I don't know, was it a handball as well? It looked to me like a really stonewall handball. His hand wasn't in a natural position. The boys come up and hit the boy. Alright, sometimes you can't get your hand out the road, but it's in the area. It's hit his arm. Is that a penalty? Of course it is. Again, people's going to argue, where's he supposed to put it? But how many times have we seen that happening over the last few years? There's no consistency in VAR, and there's no consistency in refereeing. I just don't get it. And I'm not having a whinge about this. We lost the game, fair and square. It was our fault. We never took our chances, and our final ball was terrible. Big TC's brought one down and he's had it by the post. He had all the time in the world just to finish that. I don't know what he was thinking about there. He's kind of just snapped at it and it's went by the post. But it's stupid wee ones like that you've got to score, otherwise you're on the back foot later on, and that's what happened. I mean, we would have had, 80 odd percent of the ball the whole game. Again, I still think we weren't brilliant, but it's the best we've played in a while, and we lost 2-1. So sometimes you don't want to play well, but just score and just win games. So it's, I don't know, coming down to one of the ones. Everybody played alright. Oxlade-Chamberlain was fine. Of course, he needs a wee bit more match fitness, but to keep him going is good. As I say, we've got games coming thick and fast. I don't know what we do against Stuttgart on Thursday night. Do we go out there and play our best team? Do we rest so many players? I think you just go out and play all the fringe players. We're not going to win it, so get your Bernardos in, your Luke McCown, take McGregor out. Put your Colby Donovan in. Just put the boy Arthur in that was going to play. Don't bring Trusty back in, because I don't think Trusty will be suspended for the Europa League, but just leave him off. Next weekend is a big one. We've got to try and get something for the Piggery next weekend. So if we can go there and play alright, and a draw is not the worst thing at Ibrox. I know you always want to win, but you never know. You want to go there in a positive frame, and when we go to Stuttgart, we're not going to go there any positive because we're going to get mauled in Stuttgart. If that's sent to go away last night, because Hibs are a brilliant side. They've had what, 3 chances maybe, two at the most, and they've scored the both of them. We've had 12 or 13 chances, and we haven't hit the target apart from Nigel. And again, he looks like the player that's going to score every single time that ball goes in the box. Nigel looks like the one player that's going to hit the target. I mean, that's like 18 goals this season. 17 or 18 goals for Nigel this season. That's brilliant for a midfielder. I still say, and I'll always say it, I think he'd be a much better centre forward than he would be in the midfield, because he doesn't really get back in the midfield. But up front, he holds the ball, he scores goals. Like, I know we've got centre forwards, but he'd be brilliant in there. We should have played him in there when we had all these injuries, and we had to keep playing players that we weren't, Johnny Kenny and that. Nigel should have been in there. We had an abundance of midfielders that we could have dropped into midfield. He could have been up there. The whole season might have changed. I know it's all ifs and buts and, oh, fuck's sake, what are you talking about? But we didn't have anybody up here. We had an abundance of midfielders. The midfielders were playing all right at the time. Bernardo was coming on. You're thinking, he's got something. But then he got whipped off again, and then Nigel was in the midfield. So that should have been where he played, was up front. And I reckon he'd have been in 20 plus goals, because he would have scored half of the ones that we're missing. And he creates a lot of things himself. He creates a lot of space. He just gets into where that ball's going to be. He knows exactly, and that's the sign of a good centre forward. Sniffing out just open spaces and just wee places that you can get into that you're going to cause some damage. Anyway, that boat sailed. TC, again, I think he was getting held a lot of the times in the area. I mean, let's go on to Austin Trusty's penalty. So, or the sending off, sorry, not the penalty, the sending off. Was it a sending off? Probably in the laws of the game, it is a sending off. Is it violent conduct? Either way, hurt his arm was really stupid. I don't know why you do it. I know, just flick it off or whatever, point it at the ref, say like he's holding me, but today a big sort of a punch on his arm, aye, if that happened to us, we would have been wanting somebody sent off. So I've not got an issue with the sending off. I've got an issue with all the hoarding that goes on in every single game. When that corner's coming in, the Hibs players or the Celtic players or whatever team's playing, half of them aren't even facing the ball. So the ball's are in that corner and they're facing the player. They're in his face. They're not even watching where the ball is. To me, that's a foul. That's a free kick. You've got to be facing the ball. Everybody. Years and years ago, if you had Big Jock Steen or somebody in there and you weren't facing the ball, he would have told your arse when you come off. You've got to try and win the ball. Not win the man, win the ball. And I don't know, that everybody's getting away with murder at the moment. Pulling jerseys, putting their arms around them. As soon as they do that, it's a penalty. Because if you start getting penalties, it will soon stop. The managers will go, right, we can't do that anymore. Just when the ball comes in, let's just get up and win the ball. Never mind the player. But it's nonsense now. It's like bloody American football. They're all charging each other off the ball. You know, as soon as you do that, it's a penalty. Put your arms around somebody, it's a penalty. I mean, I don't know who's making the rules up here. You can't give a penalty for one and no penalty for the other. It's just nonsense. And listen, we got beat. I'm not having a gripe about that. We had more chances to win that game today than we'll ever have. And we've been saying that for months now. We just can't get that ball in the net, especially with forwards. Most of your goals are coming from midfield. And that's a bad sign when you're playing for Celtic, because every Celtic centre forward gets 20 plus goals a season. And that's a minimum. And we're just struggling. We've tried so many centre forwards. The only person that's putting the ball in the net again is Nigel. So that tells you everything. But their goal. So we're down to 10 men by then. So we're still trying to win the game. The game's a wee bit stretched. They went up the park. Beautiful wee layoff. And it was a really, really nice finish. Can you say Casper never moved it? I don't know if he's seen the ball this time. You can't blame him. He made a couple of decent saves, Casper. I don't think it was his worst game. So he was alright. Pass marks again, he done well. But that last goal, he never moved. Is that a case of like he's just a younger guy would have been doing it either side, even if it's the other side? I don't know. Sometimes when that ball and you're in goals and you think of it going left or right and it goes the opposite way, you're kind of stuck in the spot. I get that. But great finish with the boy. Really bad time. 88 minutes. There's hardly any coming back with that when you're doing to 10 men. So I think the sending off of Austin Trusty did cost us in the end. Because I think if we were 11 men on that field, I don't think we lose the game. Did we win it? We might have sneaked a wee 94th minute winner or whatever, but we don't want to be doing that. Again, it comes back to the missed opportunities in the first half and even the second half. I mean, Forrest looked lively when he came on as well, didn't he? Oxlade-Chamberlain's a bit tired near the end, that's why, so he's kind of struggling a wee bit, but he needs match fitness. Calmack done well again. Again, chances, that's all it is. We got to take them, and if we don't take them, it comes down to bite us in the arse. We could have been 2-1 up at least in the first half, and then the second half you score one more goal, the game's beyond you. But anyway, if your auntie had balls, she'd be your uncle, all that kind of shit. So we lost the game. We're not out of it by any manner of means, but we can't afford now to lose this Glasgow derby at the weekend. We've got to take something out of this game. I think Hearts will drop more points, but then again, we're going to struggle if we can't win games at home. You've got to win your home fixtures and be dominant in this season. So next week becomes a really big game for us. If we'd have won yesterday, it wouldn't have been so bad, but now it's a game that we must take something from. And it's not about catching Hearts, it's about keeping in front of rankers, do you know what I mean? So we don't want them getting any momentum. They were lucky and all. They got out of jail because somebody, I never seen it, but I read the report that Livingston got a man sent after 2-0 up, and then they got a man sent off, and rankers come back in the last 20 minutes of the game or something. But that's unlucky for Livingston. But it's again, it's 2 points strapped for the other side, so we missed an opportunity just to go a wee bit further in front. Again, I need to stress this. I don't think we were that bad. I think we were more kind of unlucky today, or with decisions. We could have had 2 penalties a day, and you could look at every game and say, well, that could happen in that game. It could, but I think they were pretty stonewallers, and the referees just are scared to make these decisions. You know what I mean? But then Trusty makes it look obvious, which was really stupid. And now he's going to miss league games as well because he already got sent off. So I don't know how many games he missed. He might miss 3 games. But that is an opportunity for Big Arthur to come in, or whoever else he's wanting to play in there. So yeah, we're going to be up against it. So it's a whole new. He's not going to be able to play against rankers in the Old Firm game. So you're throwing that. Maybe Benji Arthur's in an Old Firm game at Ibrox where he's, I don't know, it's a fair christening, innit, for your first kind of start. So I don't know what he does there. I don't think he can play Dane Murray. Maybe play Nigel at the back. He seems to be good everywhere else. But anyway, it's something to look forward to. I'm skipping out the Stuttgart game. I'll come and do a preview before the game, but again, I don't know what he's going to do there. Is he going to play a really good side? Is he just going to go out there and play the boys? I would be playing the boys and just take it on the chin. We're out now anyway. Bad result for us. Half decent performance. I know people's going to whinge and say it's not a half decent performance. We should be winning at Celtic Park. But I think it's the best and the most chances we've made against teams over the last 3 or 4 weeks. We looked a bit sharper. We just never got that goal. It was going to set us away in front and not get caught. And then with the sending off, it cost us in the end. So anyway, look, all you can do is just think positive into Thursday night, see what happens there, and then the big one on Sunday against Rankers at the Piggery. So anyway, try and have a good week. There's not much else we can do. Just Big Benji again pops up with another goal, and I thought he would go on and score a second, and he was absolutely unlucky again. He was always, see, when you watch other players, they're having a shot for the edge of the box. He's always in space with his hands up in the middle after the ball goes over the bar or by the post. He just gets himself into some cracking positions, Nigel. And again, he gets us another goal. What a boy that is. Anyway, have a great couple of days. Hail, hail. See ya.